Yo, what is up? Welcome to the video. As the title suggests, today we're going to talk about some of the reasons why I decided to quit social media and what came out of it. So if you're interested, definitely stick around. Before I head into that though, I just wanted to mention, bro, I haven't made a video in a month. Or I think I haven't posted a video in a month. I think that's a better version because I do be journaling videos and such from time to time. But it was just a period where I felt like I needed to not be publicly facing about the stuff that I was journaling about, thinking about, and just going through about. And I think that kind of ties into the social media aspect too. I'm gonna pull up my calendar real quick to tell you exactly how long it's been. Today is Monday the 28th. I deleted social media on Thursday the 10th. So just about 2.5 weeks or so, almost coming up to 3 weeks. And when I say I deleted social media, I mean I didn't delete my entire account, but I haven't had the apps on my phone. This includes Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, literally any social media app except YouTube, because I consume a lot of information through videos and such, long form videos of course. So I feel, and it's also my only form of entertainment because I don't have a TV. I know, crazy. That's a topic for another video. But on that day, July 10th or July 9th, I just had such a strong urge to just be like, yo, I've been thinking about not being on social media, scrolling and stuff for so long. What's the harm in just deleting the apps and then coming back to it if it feels like I can handle it? With that in mind, I just deleted all the apps. I was like, I don't give a fuck. We shall see how it goes. And to be honest, dude, it's been such an eye-opening experience because I've just realized so many things. And I'm gonna head into that. I have a few notes that I took down over the course of the week, a couple of weeks, whenever I thought of something. But wow, dude, I don't even know what to say. It's definitely an experience that I would hope everyone goes through or wants to have for themselves, because we really have evolved in the last decade or so in a way where phones have integrated into our lifestyle enough that it's just an extension of us and it doesn't feel like it's a separate entity anymore. It's just something that you carry around with you everywhere, even bathrooms and such. Like, bro, 10 years ago, I wasn't peeing while looking at my phone. Now that it's a different story, though I've been trying to do better with that, so take that as you will. Starting with some of the things that I've learned by deleting social media apps for 2 weeks. And again, these things only apply to me. These are my learnings. I'm not saying that everyone's gonna get these learnings out of it, but this is just my experience. So watch with that perspective and consider taking or trying this for yourself to see if you can reap the same benefits. 1, swiping itself as an action is addictive as fuck. What I mean by that is, it's not even the content of the app, whichever platform you're on, but it's just the motion or that muscle memory of swiping and getting dopamine hits that your brain starts creating those neural pathways with. If you swipe, you're gonna get a dopamine hit. If you're gonna swipe, you're gonna get a dopamine hit. And the apps are designed in a way where they know exactly what's gonna make you have an emotional reaction or what's gonna make you laugh. So they can give you all those reels back to back to back. But what the companies do, and you can look this up, is that they insert the highest probability reel that's gonna get a reaction out of you, Then they insert like a mid to high probability, but not the highest. And then they insert another mid, then they insert another mid, maybe mid to low, and then they insert another high. So this way you're stuck in a cycle of you're chasing that highest probability one each time. But if they keep giving you the high, then you're just gonna get fried basically, and you're not gonna want to stay on the app as long as if you were more thinking about, oh, the next one might be a heavy hitter, the next one might be better. And they're so clever with this, bro. I gotta say, the humans are smart in a sense that they can break down things into system, and based on biological wiring, figure out, okay, what's gonna make the most sense. But the action itself of swiping is very, very addictive for me. And I didn't realize it until I quit the apps. And every time in my life, if like a minor inconvenience happens, or if I'm feeling low, or if I'm feeling weird, my instinct was to open up an app and start swiping on one of the reels or the shorts. To think that I've done so much inner work over the past 5 years with meditation, journaling, developing mental resilience, I I still cannot fathom that I got addicted to that kind of action. And then I think about people who don't even think, like, who I'm someone who's overthinking things, and I'm thinking about this. What about people who like don't even have this second thought of what am I really doing here? I I think it scares me. It genuinely scares me. The next thing I learned about myself is that for me, overconsumption is addictive because it keeps me away from my actual thoughts. Over consuming or justifying consumption of information as an excuse to be on social media was something that I did, because I would be like, oh, I'm learning some science stuff, oh, I'm learning this, or I'm learning that, I'm getting motivated through these motivational posts, etc. The truth, however, is that I barely remember anything that I swipe on throughout the day. And I'll ask you, do you remember the last thing that you saw when you swiped? Or do you remember the first thing that you saw when you opened the app? Or perhaps a post that you saw while you were scrolling? You remember the emotions associated with it, but you don't exactly remember what that thing was. It's so intriguing and interesting to me. And when that clicked for me, I was like, bro, this is like actually crazy. Because I go on these apps and I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh, this is cool, wow. And I'm getting all these dopamine hits in my head, when really it's just taking away from being in the present moment and feeling whatever my body is feeling or thinking about at that time. And overconsumption for me becomes addictive because it keeps me away from those actual thoughts, the actual feelings. Another thing that I learned that I've mentioned or touched upon is easy dopamine hits through few taps. So that either tapping on stories or swiping, you're getting these dopamine hits every few seconds so easily, when in life, things that are worth having or things that give you long-term dopamine hits or make you feel good about yourself, build your confidence, those things take a while. Like, they take a long or somewhat of a long time to first go through and then internalize, so you feel that. Somehow we build society in a way where shortcuts are preferred because you get the reward instantly. And this instant gratification thing also plays out with this swiping and scrolling thing and getting those easy dopamine hits in just a few swipes or taps. And it leads to me being less resilient in real life. Because if when biologically we're just wired for chasing pleasure and running away from pain, and when this kind of when dopamine becomes so accessible and so easy, you don't want to go out there, or I don't feel the need to do hard things to achieve that dopamine. I will say though, I think don't take this in an exaggerated way. Like I'm still on my shit. I do the things that I need to do for myself, working out, taking care of my school stuff, meditation, journaling, self-reflection, self-growth. All these aspects of life I continue to work on. And I see more, simultaneously, I see more resistance if I'm spending more time on social media. Another thing I realized is every time I'd be like, oh, I'll spend less time on this app, I'd just replace that swiping on a different app. And I thought about how at first when I deleted my first few, I started with I think Snapchat and TikTok. Even though I didn't even use TikTok, but I used to post videos for this channel there, which I still do because you can do it from an external platform. So I'm still posting content, or I'm trying to still post content, yet not consume. Topic that's I think I should hit on that in a different video. But the key thing or when I realized this was after I deleted all my social media, I still had LinkedIn on my phone. And I realized that my instinct then became to swipe on LinkedIn. And that's also how I realized that swiping is the action that's addictive in itself too. So I just kept replacing one app for another. And that's because all fucking apps have a shorts feature, bro. And it's built for optimizing the time spent by a specific user, by using their data and providing them with, like I mentioned, great reels, good reels, okay reels. And they keep you hooked, bro. Then I started thinking about, okay, why is social media really free? And is it really free? You've probably heard about this concept in other videos, but what's happening I think in our world is that money is one form of currency, but another important form of currency now is attention. And it's a battle of who can keep your attention longest. And that's why I'm telling you, that's why apps are free. Because you're not paying with your money, you're paying with your time, and you're paying with your attention. And that was a heavy hitter for me. Then comes the and I'm gonna preface this one by saying that I'm guilty of this too. But I learned from my mistakes and I don't do that anymore. And that's using ChatGPT to make content or even like refine stuff. I think there's some merit to using AI tools to help and refine, but I am coming to the conclusion myself that I can't be offloading stuff completely to Mr. GPT or any other AI model for that matter. And now social media is fucking full of creators that don't create anymore. They just fucking copy and paste. Bro, like at least make the effort to refine what GPT gave you. Like I can tell you got that shit from ChatGPT, and as soon as I see that, I'm not reading that shit. I don't know how people don't realize that you can't just copy and paste. You have to edit at least a little, because we as humans can fucking tell if something is written by ChatGPT or not, and it's hard to describe how, because of course there's some telltale signs like the M dashes and the rule of threes that it uses, and the negation. It's not this, it's this. But it's also just a fucking vibe, bro. Like sometimes I read stuff and I'm like, no fucking human wrote this, bro. Like I see enough responses from GPT that I'm like, nah, you did not write this. And again, I keep saying there's some merit to AI human interface, like together. For instance, I think when now what I'm planning or thinking of more is just reflecting and journal entries that I used to do, like basically what I started off the channel as, because my prediction is that over the next few years, authenticity is going to be what drives creators to the top, or what drives creators to become more, or to garner some more attention, is by being real and sharing humanistic aspects rather than merely copying and pasting. And bro, podcast is another it's a whole other sitch that I can't even get into, because now everyone has a fucking podcast. And motherfuckers are like, oh, we have this world-renowned guest, blah 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 blah, and everyone, these different experts or so-called experts, give such different or starking views sometimes, because they know that gets attention and that gets the clicks, and that's what drives the algorithm, that they be spewing out bullshit. Misinformation is crazy. Another topic, bro, for another video. You add ChatGPT to the mix, which hallucinates, and if you don't fact check it, especially with important stuff. I digress, bro. Another last couple of things, it's extremely difficult to overcome this habit of scrolling or looking at my phone. Like even now, bro, I catch myself where if I have some minor inconvenience going on in life, if I think of a thought that I'm like, I don't want to think about this, my instinct is to grab my phone and open an app to start scrolling, even if it's just for 1 minute. Fucking nuts, bro. That's insane to me. I cannot live life that way. I cannot do that to myself. The whole point of being human is to feel the emotions that we're feeling, is to have the thoughts we're having. Then returning back to self, choosing to act from a place of love and abundance. And it's still difficult to overcome this habit, because I still catch myself just grabbing my phone. But I've realized that now, or the past 2 weeks, whenever I've had inconveniences and I don't have social media to rely on as a crutch to not think about those things, like I have to emotionally regulate myself a little bit more. But that's one of the other things. And lastly, that I've written down goes in hand with this, is nothing to distract me when I feel like shit. Again, feeling the emotions and things that come up in my body, and recognizing them, becoming aware of them, and then letting them go. Because you are not defined by your thoughts, you're defined by your actions and what you actually place into this world. And while thoughts are one part of it, not every thought you're gonna have is going to be yours. It's gonna be placed in by your past experiences, by other people in your life, by consuming information on social media. And one of the key aspects to start critically thinking, or thinking for yourself and deriving decisions from a place of true self instead of fear, one of the key aspects of doing that is by consuming less information and spending more quality time with yourself, where you're listening to what your body and your mind are telling you. This is all advice that honestly I need to be reminded of right now, and that's why I'm saying this out loud, because this also reinstills in me that I need to continue doing these things for myself as well. Anyways, if this video made you think about something regarding social media, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you ever tried social media detox before. But I appreciate you tuning in to this video, making it this far with me if you're still here. And I can't promise if I'll make another video soon, but if I do, irrespective of whether it's going to be soon or not, another video is coming. So I'm gonna catch you then. Peace. Love you.